Welcome, time travelers. You are about to embark on a journey through space and time. Join us as we go back to the last great decade. Here is your host for the Time Traveler's Guide to the 80s, Jamie Benedict.
Hello, and welcome to the Time Traveler's Guide to the 80s, where we talk about everything from the safety dance to parachute pants. I am Jamie Benedict, and I will be your travel guide as we look back at the last great decade. Thank you for joining me on this journey back to the 80s. I have had to take some time to refocus my show. I did 3 episodes already and ran into some trouble with the video side of the program. So I was doing these on Facebook and YouTube, and because I was incorporating video clips as part of the program, the issue that I was having was that my show was being flagged and I was told I could not monetize the program because I didn't have rights to the clips. So I'm working on that process right now, but I wanted to make sure that I ran the show the right way and did not violate any of the copyright laws that are out there. So one day when I am rich and famous because of this podcast or this show, these will be known as the lost episodes. And some of you will be able to say that you saw them when they were first aired. But for now, I have changed up the format a little bit. So I'm going to pictures instead of video for those of you that are watching on Facebook and YouTube. And I'm purchasing the rights to these images from a website called moviestillsdb.com. That doesn't help me with everything that I'm trying to do, but it does help me a little bit and allows me to keep the show going forward, make some episodes until I can work on getting approval for videos to use in the show. So that being said, this is episode 4, and since we are in the month of October, I wanted to talk about the 80s and look at some costume ideas for those of you that will be attending Halloween parties. So all month long through the Facebook page, I have been posting different 80s costume ideas. Today, I am channeling my inner preppy. And I was really thinking more like Stan Gable of Revenge of the Nerds, but I don't have the red Alpha Beta sweatshirt. I think I need to get one of those, that red Alpha Beta sweater. And then I can wear that around for a costume idea as well. But I've been posting ideas all month long on Facebook, and I wanted to take a closer look at some of these costume ideas. For the show, what I was looking for, first and foremost, was I was looking for costumes that would be easily recognizable. And that meant that it can't just be a character who happened to wear something. It had to be synonymous with that character. I also wanted to find costume ideas that I thought would be relatively easy to put together. You could find all of the different components with very little trouble, and I really wanted it to be something affordable, not just ordering a costume online and having it sent in. I wanted it to be something that was put together by you or by me, and something that we could find maybe through thrift stores or through the Goodwill, or maybe even at Walmart to make things a little bit easier to create this entire costume. Now, some of the costume ideas will be individual. Some of them are individuals that also have a group component to it. And so that makes this a little bit interesting as well. So I think it'll make it a little bit more fun. Let's talk about some that I'm not going to go into too much depth with. And the first one on that list is Ghostbusters. I love Ghostbusters. I think it makes a great costume idea, but it really is just ordering the Ghostbusters outfit and putting it on. There's not much thought that goes into it. To be honest, it's not even super original. A lot of people do that for their costumes, so it's not the greatest idea to go with there. I also thought Super Mario, and you could add the group component to this if you wanted to do a Mario and a Luigi or a Mario and a Princess Peach. I think you could do that. The hard part is that because it's a cartoon character, getting that cheesy mustache is always a bit of a challenge. Now, if you've already got the mustache, Super Mario might work for you. Heather's was a good costume idea, and I saw a lot when I was looking up different costumes online. Heather's is really kind of a cool costume idea as a group. but it's really just a preppy look. I don't know how many people would recognize you at a party and go, "Oh, you're one of the Heathers." Maybe if everyone was together, they might make that connection, but overall, I don't think they would. I think Bruce Willis in Die Hard would be a really easy costume idea to put together, but at the same time, I think you've got a lot of the dirty look, getting the sweat and the dirt on your face might take away from the fun of the show. And I was trying to avoid things that require too much makeup. Beetlejuice is a great costume idea, but that's a lot of makeup that goes into that, and it's just not one that I thought was easy enough to pull off. Tom Selleck, of course, in the 80s, he was a big deal through Magnum PI. It's a Hawaiian shirt. That's all it is. Tom Selleck sold it because of his swagger, right? His look, the mustache again being the key to that, and the hair, which obviously I cannot pull off. I don't like a mustache, and clearly I don't have the hair to make this work. The Dukes of Hazzard, I think, is a great costume idea, but it just comes off a little bit weird. First of all, if you're going to do the group thing, it's two guys and a girl. They're cousins, but they're really awkwardly close in there. I love the show. I just don't know how you make that not look weird as a group. If you've got kids and you've got two boys and a girl, that might work. It's kind of a cute costume. People might pick up on that. I don't think individually, other than maybe Daisy, I don't think individually any one of these comes off as a great costume idea, because I don't think people would pick up on it. It is just blue jeans and a button-down shirt. And of course with Daisy, it's all about the short shorts. So that's the key to that one. And my last one that I don't want to really go into too much depth with, but I really like the idea, but probably because I'm just a guy and guys love this idea. And that is Princess Leia in the gold outfit from Return of the Jedi. I don't know how you put that outfit together other than maybe just to order that, but it's something that not many guys would turn away if their significant other wanted to dress that way and go as a costume for that. If you're going to go with that costume idea, ladies, you've got to be very, very confident in who you are, because that is a very confident look for a woman to wear to a Halloween party. Let's get into some of these that I think are just excellent ideas that if you went to the Goodwill, if you went to a thrift store, if you went to Walmart or Target, you could probably find everything that you need to put the look together. And the first one that I want to talk about is Marty McFly, played by Michael J. Fox. Not all Michael J. Fox 80s looks are going to be easy enough to recognize. Secret of My Success, he's just wearing a suit. The Alex P. Keaton look, maybe you could pull that off. Again, it's just a very preppy look. The tie, the briefcase might sell that. I just don't know how many people would make that connection. But as a Marty McFly, the key to this look is the orange vest. And I think what makes that recognizable and synonymous with it is that scene in the movie where he's asked by the guy at the soda fountain what he's wearing, the life preserver for. Did he jump ship because he's got the life preserver on? So that focused the attention right there on that part of the outfit. So you've got the orange life vest, you've got the blue jean jacket that's rolled up at the sleeves, and it's got a little pattern there, but that's not really necessary. And then of course the light shirt, I think any color would do there, and the blue jeans, and you've got a great Michael J. Fox, Marty McFly look for that. And if I'm not mistaken, I think he wore untied high tops throughout most of that movie. And certainly when he was in the 80s, that's what he was wearing, if I'm not mistaken. And of course, that was a big look during that time, was to have your high tops on and the laces undone. The next one I want to look at is really sort of two in one. I'm cheating a little bit here because I'm not looking at a specific character. I'm looking at the actor, and that is David Hasselhoff. So there were two really good looks for the Hoff in the 1980s. The obvious one is the Baywatch look. So this is from 1989. Really red swim shorts and a red windbreaker, no shirt. And you've pulled off this look. The sunglasses you could add as an accessory. If you can get your hands on one of those orange life-saving buoys, that would help the outfit as well. I know in the show, the Hoff has patches on his jacket, but really any red windbreaker will do, I think, as pulling off that look. So I think that's a great look. The other David Hasselhoff look that I think really is easy to sell is his Knight Rider look. And any dark pair of jeans with the black leather jacket. And you can go with either a polo or a button-down shirt. Of course, in the 80s with these guys, especially early 80s, we're talking 1982 to 1986 here for Knight Rider. Even the Tom Selleck look, if you're going to go with one of these guys from the early 80s, the key is going to be to not have any of your buttons done until about halfway down your chest. Selleck wore the Hawaiian shirt, but it was open about halfway, and the Hoff, wore either the button-down shirt or the polo completely unbuttoned. Chest hair was cool back then, and the ladies loved it. So that's part of the look if that's what you're going to use for your Halloween party. I think either one of those looks is great for a Halloween costume. This next one I don't have any images for those of you watching the Facebook show or watching on YouTube, because I couldn't find any that were royalty free. But it's really the aerobic look, and you can go guys or girls on this one. For the guys, Richard Simmons. And that's pulled right from the Richard Simmons Show, 1980 to 1984. The key to this look is the short shorts and the calf-high white socks that go along with this. Those two things really make the look. And then, of course, to complete the look, you are going to need a matching tank top, something that ties into the shorts, because Richard Simmons looked good. He was always color coordinated. The guy really, really knew how to make his look pop. And I think that's a great look there. Of course, you've got to have the positive, bubbly personality to go along with that. And really, any color of outfit, I think, works there. For the ladies, if you're going to do the aerobic look, then you have to start thinking Olivia Newton-John and Physical. The early 1980s video is 1981. The key to that look is the workout tights with essentially a bathing suit over top of it. I don't know exactly what that was. I guess it was a bathing suit, or some look like a bathing suit. I think if you were doing that now, that's what you could use to pull off that look. And again, another key to this is the headband. That headband really made the entire look for that. Now, to complete the look, any short sleeve button-up shirt that's not buttoned but tied at the bottom. And in the video, Olivia Newton-John wears this belt that does absolutely nothing. A very thin, very feminine belt. Does nothing for the outfit itself, other than it's just an accessory that goes on there. But this is a great look. I think anyone at an 80s party or at a costume party with anybody from our generation would recognize that look immediately as Olivia Newton-John. The leg warmers would certainly put that look over the top and definitely make it recognizable. It would certainly be 80s, but I think people would connect it immediately to Olivia Newton-John. The next costume idea that I think is great, this one can be sold as an individual on two different elements, and it could be sold as a group if you've got a group of guys that wanted to put this together, and that is going with the Karate Kid look or the Cobra Kai. So if you want to be the Johnny Lawrence character, the blonde hair, the karate outfit, any pair of black cotton pajamas, I think will work for this. And you very simply just cut the sleeves off, black cotton pajamas. Don't get silk. I don't think silk makes the look. I think you've got to go with something that's more of a flat look as opposed to a glossy or shiny look to it. You can order the patches for Cobra Kai off of Amazon. And I think they sell a 2-patch set for $25. It gets you the big Cobra Kai logo from the back and then the fist logo from the front, and just the small left chest patch that you could put on there. That would complete the look. It's not ideally what I would want to go with as far as finding this entire look at a thrift store or at a Walmart, but it certainly would complete the look. The other part to this would be the karate black belt, which you can get those for about $5 online, and you can complete the ensemble there. The other individual look for that would be to go on the opposite side of that and go with the Daniel LaRusso character. In this case, I would say order white pajamas. This one would have to be long sleeve, and that means you don't have to cut them up, which means that they'd be great for sleeping once you are done with the Halloween party. You can also order the Miyagi-Do patch online for about $14. The headband, I think you can find online, but I think any white headband would work there. And then, of course, again, the black belt that goes along with that. As a group, you can have multiple Cobra Kais and then have your Daniel LaRusso character. Get one of the guys in your group to go that route. Get everybody else to go Cobra Kai. I think that's a great costume for any group of people going to a Halloween party. And I really think you could even modernize it if you wanted to add ladies into this. We know that there was a Karate Kid that was played by a girl that was the worst Karate Kid, not counting the Jaden Smith Karate Kid. It was the worst of the original Karate Kid movies, but you could do it. And we could throw in a Cobra Kai girl. Why not? You know, it's 2020. We can do all kinds of things with that look, and I think that would make it a lot of fun for you. Another great 80s look that to me symbolized the 80s, it was Don Johnson. And when we look at Don Johnson, and you've got him in Miami Vice from the mid to late 80s there, 84 to 89, he had the perfect Miami look. And that was the white casual suit. This is not a formal suit. This is a sport coat, really, more than anything, with white slacks. And very Miami because of the heat, because of the Cuban influence down there. They use a lot of pastels. This one, the pastel shirt with a low neckline with that, or any unique color t-shirt, I think looks good there. But the key is the low neckline, and you've got the t-shirt that goes with that, really form-fitting usually with that. And then I think to complete the look, white shoes with no socks. That would really sell the look. And of course the sunglasses really makes that a full Don Johnson look. And I think you could pull that off. If you can get the Ferrari to go along with that costume, great. Get the Ferrari, because I think that helps sell it as well, because it was a big part of the show there. So I think that Don Johnson look would be excellent. If you wanted to try to do the Philip Michael Thomas look with that, I think you can do that. He's a little bit more formal and a little bit more made up. That's a dressier sport coat. The slacks are still pretty casual. The shoes are still pretty casual, but the shirt and the sport coat are a little bit more formal there for that Philip Michael Thomas look. But again, very Miami look, very South Florida, and I think that it's just a good costume idea. And then, of course, we get into some of the really obvious ones now. One of the looks is, again, I'm going kind of with two looks in one here because I think this guy really identifies throughout the entire decade of the 80s, and that is Tom Cruise. And, of course, the easy look is his Risky Business look from 1983. The key to the look is the sunglasses and the tighty whities. You really have to be confident in yourself, guys. If you're going to wear tighty whities out in public, please make them brand new. Just go out and buy a brand new pack. If you even, if you don't own tighty whities, that's going to be a no-brainer. You're going to have to go get a pack. But the 80s, I think that tighty whities look was great there. And then any button-down shirts, you could go with a white shirt there. You can go with a lighter pink or a light blue. I think people will still get the idea. And then the socks with no shoes. So wherever you're going, make sure it's an indoor party because you definitely want to be careful about where you walk when you're wearing socks with no shoes. But definitely a great look. If you can find some sunglasses to go along with that. I think he wore just the solid black Ray-Bans with that look, if I'm not mistaken. It wasn't like his Top Gun look, which would be the other look that I think people could go with when it comes to 80s costumes ideas, and that Top Gun look from the mid 80s. The key to that look, the leather bomber jacket, which I think you can get pretty much in any thrift store. You're always going to find a leather bomber jacket in there. And then this one had the gold Ray-Bans with the thin frames, the more of the classic style Ray-Ban look, and then a plain white t-shirt underneath and blue jeans will complete that look. Boots work well there. You could probably get away with tennis shoes. Nobody would even call you out on it. But I think that's a great look for Halloween. So Tom Cruise gave us a couple of looks there. You could probably even do an Outsiders look and throw Tom Cruise into that mix, but there's nothing really special about that Outsiders look unless you do the whole group, and then people might be able to connect that look to what you're doing. This one here, I think, is always an obvious one, but it's an obvious one. It's certainly obvious in a group. I think this is the only one individually that would stand out by character, and that is Judd Nelson as John Bender in The Breakfast Club from 1984. If you look at those characters, maybe the Letterman jacket helps you pull off the Emilio Estevez character, but there's nothing really unique about the other characters in that group. This one is all about the Bender look, and that is the flannel shirt with the blue jean jacket and the fingerless gloves. A couple of ways you can do those fingerless gloves. They're kind of like cycling gloves or motorcycle gloves or weightlifting gloves maybe. You could pull that off. But if you want to go with the inexpensive way of making that look, if you go to Walmart, you can buy brown working gloves and just cut the fingers off. Nobody would even notice that that's not what it is. The key to completing that look is going to be the white tee, the sunglasses, and work boots. Or army boots, I think, might work there as well. Not tennis shoes on this one. That was not his character. That's not who he was about. This is the rebellion of it all, and those combat boots definitely added to the look there. Of course, if you are going to go with this as a group, any preppy look for the Anthony Michael Hall or Molly Ringwald character, I think you could make work. And then any sort of grungy emo look for Ali Sheedy's character, I think you could probably pull that off. If everybody's together, that's a very recognizable costume. Separately, I don't think anybody picks up on it other than John Bender in there. Now, let's talk about one last character from the 80s. And it's really, this person was so diverse and so fluid throughout the 80s that there are so many looks that you can get off of this one person, and that is Madonna. And Madonna, has had so many looks. I think some that might not even be recognizable that I thought were really good looks was the suit and fedora from Open Your Heart. And that's a great music video. I just don't know how many people would pick up on that one. I would, because I love Madonna. And then Like a Prayer, it's black lingerie. So I mean that's what you could go with. It's not quite as risque as some of the other outfits. And when I was looking at this, I wanted to make outfits that were, for the most part, realistic looking without crossing the line to, where people are going to be, not wanting to talk to you the rest of your life. But if we go with the Like a Virgin look, that's sort of the white lingerie, wedding dress sort of look with the lace arm sleeves. I think that look could be done tastefully and definitely stand out at a party, and not be too over the top that people would be uncomfortable. You could certainly go with the Material Girl look, which was the pink dress, the long pink gloves, and the white jewelry, the necklace and the earrings that went along with that. I think that would be a very tasteful look. And I think a lot of people would definitely pick up on that Material Girl look. You could also go with the Desperately Seeking Susan look, which is basically just black leather, the black leather jacket, tight black pants. You could probably do leather, but we're not talking quite like Grease Sandy look. We're not going quite that far. We're doing it a little bit differently. The black sunglasses, and of course, with the Desperately Seeking Susan look, the bow in the hair was a big part of that entire look. So I think you could probably make that work. Certainly people would recognize it as Madonna. And if you get the little mole right there, I think people would definitely recognize it as Madonna. They might not connect it to Desperately Seeking Susan, but it would certainly be a look that people should recognize. And then, of course, in the 80s, kids dressed like this anyway, and that is just classic Madonna. That's lots of lace, leggings, skirt, arm sleeves. The hair bows were lace. Everything that she did was lace. And then, of course, you got the black leather jacket, the sunglasses, sort of a Desperately Seeking Susan look, but more of the skirt with the leggings, I think, is just the classic Madonna look that people went with there. And gloves, the fingerless gloves, I think, that were also lace, that would really make that look stand out. But there's a lot of great costume ideas from Madonna in particular. And there were a lot of great costume ideas from the 80s. If you are on the Facebook page, you can certainly find all of my great costume ideas that I've been posting for everyone and trying to share so that you are up and ready to go for this year's Halloween parties. Thank you for joining me for episode 4 of the Time Traveler's Guide to the 80s. Don't forget to join my Facebook page at Time Traveler's Guide to the 80s so that you don't miss any of the great content. And also like the YouTube page as videos start to get posted there. It's Time Traveler's Guide to the 80s. And don't forget to share this episode with all of your friends. Until next time, be excellent to each other and party on, dudes!
Welcome back and thank you for joining us in this most excellent journey back to the 80s. We hope that you have enjoyed this bodacious trip back to the last great decade and will travel with us again.